What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to the Undrafted and Overconfident podcast on a Monday, December 15th, 2025. I'm Jason Semko. With me, Brandon Bigo Gordon.
Welcome back, Jason. I mean, geez, it's been so long.
Doing this and seeing your beautiful face every week, taking a week off, it does feel a lot longer than that.
I mean, it feels like ages.
And so much has happened.
Jesus.
A lot of good stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm seriously, I know it's only been, 2 weeks since we did this, but Jesus, I was just like, how long has it been? Do I know how to do this? How do I use my hands? What am I supposed to do? I don't even know if I can operate right now.
Well, what you can't do is use a clicky top pen.
No clicky top pens.
Click, click, click.
I got a twisty top this time. Which I will not twist. No twisting.
We'll see how long that takes.
Yes. Nervous tics abound on this episode.
Do I make you nervous?
No, it's all those ears that are listening in on that. I'm just like, I just want to have it be perfect.
I do too.
Just want to be perfect.
That's why that damn clicky top last episode.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Just clicked your top right off your head. Jesus. But yes, we had to take a week so that you could go enjoy your anniversary or whatever that crap is. So congratulations on, how many years is it now?
So there's got to be some perks to marriage,
some
right?
Perks, yeah. So you celebrate and you go out somewhere. So what number is this? What year were you celebrating for anniversary here?
It's our 5th year.
5, the big 5 spot.
Big 5, the year of wood.
So you had some wood on the trip? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah, the Christmas ornaments. And
yes. They got a lot of wood in Costa Rica. A lot of birch, redwoods. Holding strong. Oak, yeah.
Yeah. Ficus.
Ficus isn't a wood, is it?
Yeah, it's a tree. Wood.
No, ficus is a bush.
No, we just saw a 500-year-old ficus tree.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Were there any sloths in that ficus tree in Costa Rica?
Not in that one, but we did see some in some other trees.
What is with Costa Rican sloths? Why is that? Is that their national animal?
It actually is. One of our guides actually did say that it is very similar to like our bald eagle. And there's a lot of rules around like what you can and can't do, and you can't harm them. You can't get within like 6 feet of them.
Okay, that's pretty easy to do considering how slow they freaking are. It's like, oh no, there's a sloth. Get out of its way. That's
what made taking pictures super great, because they move so slow. You could just easily get the shot you wanted.
You never one of those where like, this one's blurry. You got to get a new one.
Not at all. That's what made it great. But they do have a big saying down there, Pura Vida, which is simple life. And who lives more of a simple life than a sloth?
Right, that's very true, yeah. They literally eat and hang upside down, and they don't even bathe. They're like the dirtiest animals I've ever seen.
They literally have a species of insect that only is found on sloths.
Wow, that's their claim to fame. Congratulations, sloths. Way to keep a species alive on your very own. Congratulations.
And they're just stinking cool looking.
And by the way, it's like, do you think Costa Ricans are a little butthurt about the idea of this is our animal? It's like the United States have the bald eagle and we've got a sloth. That's our animal?
Look, they live a different lifestyle down there.
Yeah.
Which might not be that bad because they're in a green zone, one of like 5.
Yes, a green zone. Yes, of course.
Everyone lives to like over 100.
Wow. Something's going right.
I can't say that about this country.
Nope.
70 is, I think, the new max. Yeah. So bald eagle out there hustling and bustling like we are.
Yeah, just donking off after 25 years.
Yeah. And the
sloth's like, I'm 150. But it wasn't all smooth sailing from what I understand.
We had to miss a whole day because of fog in Richmond.
So, hold on. You mentioned this, and I just needed to clarify. Fog stopped this plane from getting off of the ground.
Yes, they couldn't see. And it was fog all the way down, like, the East Coast. I think even the flights we were supposed to connect in Atlanta, a lot of those were delayed for a while as well. It was like a massive fog event.
Jeez, a fog event, my goodness.
The one day a year
Batten down
that we
the hatches.
travel.
If fog is that big of a deal, it's like, how are planes ever going in and out of, like, London? Like, isn't that like the fog capital of the world? They seem to manage perfectly fine.
There was a rackload of fog in Costa Rica when we left, but that didn't seem to be a problem either. But Richmond, East Coast in the United States, can't do it.
Can't do it. These planes practically fly themselves now. It's like, just get it off the ground. Just nobody else go. It's my turn. I'm taking off. Because I hear this all the time, that it's like the only thing that's the pilots are really doing now are takeoff and landing. And that's it. The rest of the time, it's quite literally on autopilot.
I really wish I had a better explanation. That's what we were told.
Fog.
Okay. And then, of course, we only had one flight. We flew Delta, and they only had one flight leaving Atlanta to Costa Rica that day. So obviously we missed it.
Damn.
So we just either decided were we going to fly down to Atlanta, spend the night in a hotel, leave the next day, or go back home and just try it again the next day.
And then what'd you end up doing?
We went home.
Okay.
We had a nice little brunch. We took a nice nap, and we watched some Home Alone.
All right, you got into the holiday spirit.
And then went to sleep really early because both flights, both days, were at like 6 in the morning.
Oh, man, so you had to do that wake up twice in 2 days?
Wake up at 2:30 in the morning, both days. Ugh. Hustle and bustle to the park and go, get them to drive you over. Thankfully, when it's that early, going through security is like a breeze.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the one thing about, again, those quaint small airports is that security usually is pretty easy breezy.
Even if it's busy, you're still going to get through in less than probably 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, even the second day ran into some issues. Mechanical issue on the plane.
Oh, good. Wonderful. Yes.
So that took an extra hour and a half.
Now, were you, okay, so on that hour and a half, were you on the plane, like stuck on the tarmac, or were you at least in the terminal?
We were in the terminal. The first day, we were in the plane for about 2.5 hours.
Oh, no.
Before they had to bring us all the way back.
I mean, and people are just sweating in there, and it's turned into a hot box, and everybody's agitated.
Very agitated. Yes.
I need to go see my Falcons.
I need to go see my sloths.
My sloths. I gotta go to my sloths.
As David Attenborough would say, the sloths.
The sloths.
With that British accent.
Ah, yes.
And we needed to see them. But yeah, so it took an hour and a half to leave in the second try. I almost didn't think we would. It started raining a little bit. Weather was getting kind of dicey.
You're like, not again.
And we just kept kind of driving like around the whole airport. Like we weren't really taking off, weren't doing anything.
So you were on the plane. You were just driving. You were driving a plane pretty much. You're just like, we're just going for a Sunday drive.
Nice leisurely drive around the airport. Yeah, right. And then finally, though, we did take off. But as we landed, we were like, oh, our connecting flight.
You got to hustle.
So kind of like in Home Alone. I was
just sprinting through that terminal.
I wasn't sprinting, but I was like power walking, light jogging.
So you get the knees up, like Kramer always says, got to get those knees up.
I didn't.
You're running like a girl.
I should have taken his advice. I was being more like George Costanza.
Those little legs. Look at those little legs go.
And right when I get up there, because I kind of bolted ahead.
Sure, you're like, keep up. And like, don't worry. I will come back for you. I will find you.
There was another couple from Charlottesville that was doing the same thing. Yep. And so I was like, don't worry, I'll get there, guys. And as I run up there, plane just pulled away from the gate.
You got to see it in slow-mo. You're like, there it goes. And there's nothing you can do about it. Once they leave the gate, it's just torture. You're just like, that is my plane.
Yep.
And I'm waving goodbye to it.
Thankfully, we went with United, not Delta, so there was a flight like 3 hours later.
Oh, good. All right, so United apparently is big on Costa Rica. More than one flight going out of Costa Rica.
4 or 5.
All right. But, so there you go.
Yeah, so then we finally got down there.
Got to hang out in that beautiful Atlanta airport.
Miami. That's actually Miami.
Oh, okay, you flew to Miami.
Yeah.
Also. Okay.
It was a nice little airport.
Miami, yeah.
Definitely a lot healthier food options than Richmond. I think there was one Chick-fil-A, which is where we went to eat something.
Look at all these healthy spots. Let's go to Chick-fil-A instead. Hey, honestly, I need those waffle fries.
And the crazy thing was, which by the way, they were probably the best waffle fries I'd had in years. But no, the prices. Chick-fil-A was kind of cheap. The other healthy places were mad expensive, even for an airport.
Of course they are.
I was like, of course we're going to do Chick-fil-A. Like, I'm just tired of spending money.
I need that Chick-fil-A sauce, some comfort on this very arduous day.
Something that I know.
That I know I'm going to love. I don't want to risk something. Nope. Hate that food. And then I'm like, well, this trip's off to a great start.
So, best waffle fries in years. Great sandwich.
All right.
And we finally get on our way to Costa Rica.
Made it.
But we stayed at 2 different places. And so, unfortunately, the first place we stayed at, We were only really there for
A blip.
about a day and a quarter.
Okay.
But had a great excursion. That's where we saw like the thermal
Springs. Are the springs?
There were some springs, but then really like those like 350 degree, just like thermal activity where like the smoke is coming out.
Okay.
You know, we saw a couple different types of monkeys, some waterfalls, got to swim in some hot springs later, got to swim next to a waterfall. So that was really cool.
That's great.
But
that sounds great.
short-lived, and then moved on to our second location, which had a bit of a make or break with my lovely wife.
Ooh. How so?
Well, we had another full day excursion that we went on, and unfortunately we didn't really see many animals. It was really nice, but we had a next day of nothing really planned, and so it was kind of like, look, let's Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Everyone goes ziplining in Costa Rica. We should do that. And she really didn't want to do it.
She didn't want to go zippy.
Didn't want to. We're going to get back, and everyone's going to say, did you zip line? And we're
That's
going to
what
say,
they're known
no.
for.
So
you got her on.
I got her on board.
Okay. So this was the make or break. You're like, okay, this better go smoothly.
She was super nervous, like walking up the first platform, but had a great time.
Yay.
Really enjoyed it. She did not enjoy the Tarzan swing, which was like a rope swing. But once you swing out, you basically go like over the edge of like where we were, and you just see straight down like 100 feet. So she didn't much care for that one.
But you're strapped in. You're
They
like
had
hooked
us
and you're
like
harnessed.
quadruple
There's
strapped
nothing
in.
that's gonna happen.
I had like my legs over my head trying to like spin.
You were trying to do tricks out there.
I was, yeah. But it was so much fun. She enjoyed it, and there was no bad weather, and so the zip lining went great. And then we went, and the only thing we hadn't seen was the sloth, so we did a sloth tour.
All right,
and we saw like
sloths.
5 of them. Got some great pictures. Yeah. So it was a nice ending to what started out not so
very tumultuous at the front end.
And I unfortunately could only feel like I blamed myself, because last episode we talked about how the announcers jinxed John Carney with that kick. And as I re-listened to our episode,
we were talking, we were like, it's gonna be great, blah blah blah.
You know, if you just expect it to be kind of a, going in that it's, gonna be a bad flight, but if nothing else wrong happens, you'll be fine. And then of course
everything went wrong.
Yeah, everything went wrong. So.
But it sounded like it ended on a high note. You had a great time once you got there. Yeah. Great excursions. Not a single bad excursion. It sounds like it was all pretty great.
The guides were amazing. Went out of their way to try to like help you see some different things, some different animals. Our one guy, we saw like an anteater. Which was super rare because they're very nocturnal. Yeah. And we were like, me and him were way off the beaten path trying to like get a good view of the thing. And he was, he was like, no, come on, over here. Didn't have to do really any of that. Yeah. But he just wanted us to have a good time, and super nice. They're all super laid back. Pura vida. They live the simple life.
Yeah, the Ticos down there, right? Isn't that what they call them? So the Ticos?
The Ticos.
The Ticos.
I don't think
That's
so.
the people. I just looked it up. Ticos.
Never heard that.
All right, well, did you see any macaws, the pretty birds? I know that
toucans. There were toucans. I don't know
toucans
if the
with a big beak.
Yeah.
Were they chucking Fruit Loops at you?
I did see one. No, I did see fruit. I think one tried to. He kept grabbing something in like a tree.
He was like, follow my nose.
And we did follow him around, trying to take some good pictures.
Freaking paparazzi. 2 thumbs up. You recommend.
Highly recommend.
All right. Well, you didn't miss much back here while you were gone, because it was cold. It was snowy.
That's what I heard.
And I was talking to our buddy Will Billy about this, and we're at that stage now where we're just like, we're the old curmudgeons, right? It's like, back in my day, and one of the things that we realize is that these kids get out of school so goddamn fast.
The thought of snow out.
Do you remember when we were kids? I swear I'm not misremembering this, but do you remember when we were kids? Part of the deal was like, you didn't know you were out of school until the morning of. You had to wake up and turn on the news, and you had to be like, come on. And you'd look at the ticker at the bottom, and you'd be like, okay, is my school on the closed list? Is my school on the closed list? Do you remember that?
I think I remember.
Or the radio, or however you did it, but it was the day of.
I think the only thing I remember not being the day of was, I think it was a Super Bowl, and it was so snowy, and, staying up late to watch the Super Bowl, and you're just hoping and grasping. And I think they finally did close it at like midnight or something. That's
but again, it's
only
midnight.
Time I remember.
But the other times you had to wake up, you're like, okay. And even when you woke up and you looked outside in the snow, you're like, it's not a guarantee. Not a guarantee. Maybe it's a 2-hour delay.
Unless you were from like Fauquier County, because that was closed every single time.
Yeah. But down here, man, at 6 p.m. the night before, not a flake out there. Called it. No school tomorrow. At 6 p.m. the night before, not a single flake on the ground. And I'm like, what are we? They're just letting these kids just get out. And again, I sound like an old fuddy-duddy.
I'm sure our parents would even say
that we could have gone to, in the 3 feet of snow, you're like, you could have gone to school in this. But holy cow, man. And they did it for like 3.5 days.
Did they really?
Yes. They were out of school on Friday. They were out of school on Monday. They were out of school of Tuesday. And then it was a late start on Wednesday.
Was it that bad of snow?
It wasn't. It really wasn't, man. It stuck around for a little bit. But I honestly think when we were going to school, where we grew up, we might have gotten maybe that Friday off.
Okay.
But Monday, Tuesday, no, you're going to school. Like, it's just wild. It's wild. So, yeah, that's what you miss. You miss some snow. So, my kids got to enjoy their first real big snow of the year, or
that's
winter,
great,
if you will. So, they got to play around, and we've got a slight slope on our house, which is nice because at their age, they're super young. They don't need to go to a big sledding hill. We just drag them down the side of our house, and,
it works for now.
Right there. So, they got to do a little bit of sledding.
Do you know of a good place around here when they're older and ready to hit the bigger slopes?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like when we were growing up, I know you did, I know I did, where there was the sledding hill. That was the hill that everybody went to go sled. I haven't found that around here.
Okay.
So I don't know.
You got time.
Maybe some of our listeners that live in the Richmond area, they can email us. Hey, this is a good sledding hill.
That'd be nice.
But Will Billy, his boy Kale. He was like, "This is a nightmare. I can't. This kid's got to go to school.
No.
I can't do this. I need him to go to school because
he is a ball of energy."
Well, and it's just like at that age, right? He's like 9 or 10. You tell a kid that he's got no school, it's pretty much no rules. When you hear snow day as a kid that age, you're like, I don't have to brush my teeth. I don't have to put on clothes. I don't have to.
I can eat all the junk food I want.
It's like TV on the whole time. It's like all hell breaks loose. And you just say the snow days are anarchy in a house with like a 10 to 12-year-old.
The worst part now is all the streaming services. You can just watch whatever.
God.
When we were growing up, I don't know. We didn't have cable for the longest time, so
you were stuck.
We were
whatever's
stuck
on.
Like The Price is Right or something, which is fun.
That was the go-to on sick days. Sick days, Price is Right all day, every day. That was the one.
But that was about it. So you really didn't have much to watch. So you kind of had to hope to go outside and play in some snow.
You forced you to go outside. You're like, I need something to entertain myself.
But now you could just, I don't know, put on Minecraft or something. I don't know. What do the kids watch these days? Is it? It's made a movie.
They did make a movie, but it's a game.
Oh, okay. Well, you play Minecraft.
I know at least that way. Yeah, you can play all sorts of crap on your phone, on your tablet, on your TV. Again, it's just the instant gratification generation, man.
Like we wouldn't take advantage of that.
I mean, we probably would have.
Yeah.
But, we still have that to hold on to where we're like, yeah, we were better. We went outside and we threw snowballs at each other and made snowmen and sled and broke our arms and
fought with each other.
Yes, in the snow.
Tackled each other.
Yeah.
Tackle so many layers on, you couldn't really get hurt.
No, not really. And you were at that age where it's like your bones are made of rubber. You just bounce off of each other and whatnot. The other thing that happened apparently in the week that you were gone is that my fantasy football team decided to implode. It just decided we're not gonna work anymore.
I kind of hate you right now.
Why?
Because you kind of stole the thunder I was going to rein in on this.
I know. I got to get ahead of it.
Momentous occasion.
For those of you that don't know, Semko and I are in a fairly competitive fantasy football league with friends from way back college. So we're going on 20 years now. There's a lot of bragging rights they're up to claim.
Huge.
And there's a belt to be won for the champion. Looking forward to at least seeing that belt from afar, because unless Mr. Achan tonight runs for 6 touchdowns, I'm pretty much done.
That still might not even get you there.
Yeah, it was a rough showing by my team.
Well, you should have known what was coming to you. I had been saying basically every episode of this podcast that ever since I changed my team name.
Oh, yeah. Well, hold on. I got to bear this because I think the other piece of information that listeners need to be informed of is my opponent in the first week of the playoffs was none other than the man sitting right across from me, Mr. Jason Semko.
The new myth, the new legend.
Oh, my God. It hurts. It hurts a lot. It stings. But I got no leg to stand on. It's like I can't blame my team. I can't blame my roster decisions. It's just bad play by everybody on the team.
You even made the right call. I couldn't believe that you benched Hunter Henry for Brenton Strange.
Yeah, ballsy.
Wow.
Rolled the dice.
And that was the right move.
Yeah, by a point.
He scored 3.2.
Yes. Yes. No, but I get this way in fantasy football, man. It's like when the playoffs come, I get too invested on, I'm going to go with the guys that got me there. They've been the best for me and whatnot, instead of really just taking a look at how they've been, what their matchups look like, and really being like, this is a one and done. I need to win this game. And make some really tough decisions. But even if I did, it wouldn't have mattered. You came to play. Your team showed up. I commend your team. You know, our buddy DW said we should have done a kicker off. It would have been a tie game if we just played our kickers. So maybe I should have tried to gamble that with you, but that didn't work out for me.
I'm going to see Will Whitaker, if you're listening.
Ooh, all right.
Kicker off.
No.
For the belt.
No way.
Let's do it, buddy.
Oh, that's right, because the other two are not belt eligible. Oh, wow.
Which this fits my MO perfectly, because I think the last at least 2 times, if not 3 times, I've technically won the belt. I've not won.
It's been an asterisk. You and your asterisk belt champs. I hate you asterisk belt champions. It doesn't count.
Okay, it absolutely counts. That's
freaking
the rules.
Barry Bonds of fantasy football over here.
Say I'm cheating?
Yeah.
Well, I kind of did. I mean, I took some of your powers.
You took my juju, dude. You took my juju. That's the only reason that I feel like I have to root for you now, is because my namesake is on the line now. Yeah. It's like I lost, but my name can live on in the championship.
Live on with me holding that belt.
That's right. Just as long as you know who got it for you. You're just going to look at that belt and you're going to see my face.
I seriously don't understand it. But you put up by far the lowest scoring week you've had
all year.
And that has happened almost every single week since I made the name change. So Josh Allen, bet against Josh Allen and the Bills next week.
Bills aren't doing it this week.
Derrick Henry ain't going to do nothing. I might have to pick up Shedeur Sanders and put him in.
Don't do it. That was such a terrible. You almost did. You almost started him this week, and I would have been so happy.
Baker wasn't really doing much lately, and C.J. Stroud, we just talked for 10 minutes last episode that he's kind of done. And I don't know. You know, Sanders, no one knows him. He had a great week. It was against the Texans. So I thought maybe he could just go out and throw it for... Now, he might be a bad quarterback, but fantasy, he could have done great. I mean, they could have been down by 30, and he just throws it.
They were playing in like -4-degree weather.
That helped, and then when I saw that Mike Evans and McMillan were back for the Bucs, I was like, well, I guess enough. I'll go with the guy that got me there.
Here you go. Go with the guy that got you there. Well, speaking of your boy Baker and the Bucs, while he came through for you in our fantasy matchup, man, did he just crumple in that fourth quarter of that Thursday game.
That is one of the worst losses, I think, in the NFL that I can remember in a very long time.
It was bad. That's very, not high praise, that's very definitive. You're saying one of the worst losses.
That was a game that you had to win.
Yeah.
Should have won. Prime time, at home, needed that win. With Carolina, the Carolina Panthers are on your heels. And you just muffed it. I don't know what happened, which actually made me kind of happy that Todd Bowles called out the team.
Well, here's the problem, though, that this is like they did it last week too. They lost at home to, at the time, I believe it was a 1-win Saints team. They lost that game. They've lost, and that was coming off of a bye. So off of a bye, they lose to the Saints at home, and then they turn around, and then that locker room is shook. They gotta feel like there are ghosts in the building right now.
Yeah, no, and that was another reason why that was one of the worst losses in recent memories, because you just came off of losing that bad game. Thanks for bringing that up. I forgot about that. Yes, you had to get rid of that. That should have been your wake-up call. Quick turnaround, just go out and play on a Thursday, and you lose to the Falcons.
In such fashion, too. They had a 14-point lead in the fourth.
I don't know how you let that happen as professionals.
You let the Falcons have 3 scores on you. Ill Will is just happy dance right now with all the talk we're giving to his Falcons right now. But
he is the biggest Kirk Cousins fan. I know.
Yeah, biggest Kirk, biggest Kyle Pitts. He had Kyle Pitts on his fantasy team. Where was that like the rest of the year for him? He could have used that to get him into the playoffs.
Yeah, I thought he was going to make it too when he had Lamar rolling. His team was good. His team was first for a while.
I know. It's a shame when honestly feel like this is going to happen to me next week. Now that I'm eliminated, my team's going to ball out next week for no apparent reason.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Oh, Justin Jefferson's going to have a Justin Jefferson type game.
Yeah. It's going to be. And I'm like, why?
I really hope to see that, and I can't wait to screenshot it, send it to you.
Yeah, I know. Believe me. I'm not even going to look at it, but you'll make sure to. But you kind of mentioned something with a coach, Todd Bowles, about his post-game press conference where he just kind of laid into his guys after that game.
I think that was the right thing to do, because a lot of times the coach will sit there and put it on himself, and that seems to be the professional thing to do. But what else these guys are professionals. They should know that this is a must-win game, and you go out there and lay that egg in the fourth quarter. I mean, at what point do you just have to sit there and say, I shouldn't have to sit here and focus my time on motivating you so much to go out there to win? You should want it yourselves. It was right there for you, and you blew it. I don't know. I thought it was actually, I liked it because I think it was the truth. And hiding behind that and saying that it was coaching, no. Games like that, I think that's on the players.
So I don't know. I think it's kind of more mixed than that. I don't know necessarily that it was right for him to just point everything at his players. It's like I mean, he sounded like me on our second episode with all those F-bombs. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he just kind of laid into his players, and I'm glad that he didn't call anybody out directly. He just said, as a team, we're professionals. You need to know what your freaking job is. You need to do your freaking job. You got to want it. I can't make you want it. But at the same time, I wonder if speeches like that, one of two things is going to happen, right? It's either going to embolden his team and they're going to rally around that press conference, or he's going to lose the locker room. And it's going to be one of those things. And it smacks of that press conference of, I already know I'm on the hot seat. For me, some of it's not like I'm already on the hot seat and I'm going to come out with a tirade and not deflect, but I am going to kind of position some of the blame a little bit away from me. I'm not fully away. He didn't say that I coached a perfect game and it's all on the players, but at the same time, he did. And that also kind of tells you that this has been kind of brewing, right? He wouldn't come out and say that unless this has been brewing for a couple weeks. I can't do this anymore. I can't make you guys want to win. You guys have to want to win. And it's like, I don't know. It's like there are some players in that locker room. The Mike Evans, you saw how heated Mike Evans was on the sideline. He was pissed. He wanted to win. You can't tell me that guy didn't want it.
And some of that anger you can feel is because there's guys on that team that don't want it as much as he does. And I think that's, Todd Bowles was an ex-player, and I think that if he could have put on the pads and gone out there, would have thought he could have done better than some of those players. And you shouldn't have that feeling as a head coach when you've got a shot to win a division, make a playoff run. And when you got guys that, I mean, that's the worst thing, right? I mean, even at our jobs, right? I mean, if you're working with someone that just doesn't want it, like, how do you really want to give the effort if they're not giving it, right?
Yeah. No, I agree with you. But I'm also kind of a purist when it comes to where does that outrage, what's the right medium, or where is that? Is that better behind closed doors in a closed door meeting where you're chewing out the team and saying that? What good is it announcing that to the press and to the world? Is it better to have that behind closed doors where you're just, I can't make you guys want this. I can't do it for you. You guys need to do it. And he can drop as many F-bombs as he wants to. He can be as outrageous as he wants to be. But then when he steps up to the mic, just saying, as an organization and as a team, from our players to our coaches, we all failed. And there's no excuse. And I feel like I've always been of the type where it's like, I feel like that's a better measured approach. Do it behind closed doors. You can let the reporters hear from. It's like, man, they're really going into it in the locker room, but kind of to lambast your team out in the press conference or out in the public. I've never been a big, staunch performer of that. It's great fodder. It's great for the newspapers and the talking heads. But is it better for the team? I don't really think so.
I think that was just a sign then that the season's over and they're not going to get it back together. And
or is it a last ditch effort to try and get it, to try and recover?
It's grasping, but I don't know. I mean, and this is another thing though, is people want these guys to tell the truth when they're up there, actually give your opinion. And it's that whole dichotomy of, so you want me to like tell you how I'm really feeling, but then you're going to like crush me for it and criticize me for it. So like, what do you want? So the guy's out there saying, my team didn't want it. So like, I'm giving you like the truth and I'm letting you know, even going away from the coach speak, I think you saw like the passion out of him. I know it probably means he's going to get fired. At some certain point, we got to remember that these are supposed to be professionals that are out there. Like I think you said before, playing a game that we would all love to play.
Yeah, we'd kill to play that.
And not bringing that kind of effort. I mean, this wasn't a 1 in 12 team going out there and like blowing the lead. So, you're out there giving 100%. You want them to. And yeah, I think after probably 2 weeks of that, it was just, I got to say my piece and get it out. And I actually applaud him for it. I would want Todd Bowles on my staff or on my team because I actually appreciated the honesty.
I'm not denying that the honesty is a good thing and just saying how it is. Again, it's where your outlet is that you're doing it for. The other thing that I've always said at the crux of the issue is that if your team's not performing the way that you want you to, then I'm sorry. Even if it's 2 layers deep, that's on you. Either you brought in the wrong guys that don't have that killer mentality. That's your job. You didn't coach them up. That's your job. You didn't get them to feel the urgency in the moment. That is your freaking job.
I don't think that is to a certain extent. You want to talk about, they want to be considered professionals. They want to, it's not college. These are men. They're grown men. You shouldn't have to motivate them but so much. That's what I think I don't like. I don't like that it's always on the coach. At a certain point, the players are out there. You know the play. Execute the play. How many times have you run that play? Or how many, you need to get up and be ready to go out there to play. And if you're not, what coach at this level? Yeah, when you're college and below high school, it probably does take motivating and getting them going, but it really shouldn't with grown men.
So you're a fan of the outrage, the just like, I'm going to tell you how it is. You like the Dennis Green speeches is like, yes. You like the Singletary speeches. Can't play with them. Can't coach with them. Can't do it. You like those kind of speeches out in the press, out in the public. You like those kind of speeches.
Like when it's boiled to that point, absolutely. Because, yeah, they're great sound bites now, but it's giving you that unfiltered, look, I've got the passion. There are guys in this team that want it, but there's a lot that don't, and that is unacceptable. You can't sit there and pull everyone into your office and try to singularly motivate them. If that's the job of the NFL coach, with these guys making all this money, I don't think that's all part of the coach's
All right, well, let me
job.
ask you this. Like, if you had to pick a couple, even if you can just give me one, maybe two, of the best motivational head coaches in the NFL right now, who would hit that list? If you could think of any. I'll give you some if you're looking for some.
Go ahead. Give me yours.
So I think that everybody could say, from a motivational standpoint, Dan Campbell's got to be at the top of that list.
Oh, yeah.
Dan Campbell's got to be at the top of the list, motivating his players, right? Agreed. I don't see Dan, even in a bad loss, ever coming out like that in a press conference. And I think that you said it, I think that his players would run through a brick wall for him. Yeah,
but if, winning cures a lot, and I think that if they were to start losing and they started thinking that, maybe this going for 4th down isn't the best thing, I don't think it's something that just brews after one game. I think it's something that's been happening throughout the year. I actually could see Dan Campbell doing exactly what Todd Bowles said if it was getting bad and the players Actually, I could really see him doing it if they're not giving that same intensity that he's looking for.
But then the question is, would you ever get to that point with a Dan Campbell coach team? Or is that he's coaching it to a sense of they're never going to get to that point where they're not giving it their 100% out on the field, leaving it all out there.
Sometimes, that's sometimes the problem with long tenured coaches is the message starts getting
diluted,
and it doesn't hit like it used to, and some players just don't want to hear it anymore. And then once again, you start losing some of these games, and you start questioning maybe the coach is actually doing a good job, and that's where you start seeing those cracks. So I actually could see the one person that I don't know if I would ever be able to see do that would be like a Sean McVay.
Yeah,
I don't think I'd ever see him show that kind of emotion afterwards. I mean, he does seem like a crazy professional about it. I also don't know if I like that. I'd want to see some of that emotion if things are, I mean, if you lose 3 games that you're supposed to win, and you say the Rams did that, and you just sit there and kind of say, it's kind of like Mike McDaniel, he just would, this year, he just kind of would say, I'm not worried about it, or come across as if it's not a big deal, or I still believe in my guys. And it's now that we know kind of what's been going on in that locker room, I think it might have been better if he had said something.
So you'd like to see more. What you saw out of Todd Bowles, you'd like to see that happen more often out of coaches?
In those right circumstances, absolutely. And if it's true, I mean, that's the thing. It has to be the truth. I would hate to the point then where you start blaming the players and it comes out where it's like Todd Bowles was just leaving practice an hour early or something.
That would be hilarious if a player comes home, his wife's like, honey, what'd you do at practice today? He's like, Coach just put on a movie. We just watched Friday Night Lights. He said, play like these guys.
We watched Rudy.
That would be hilarious. And they just phoned it in like teachers do sometimes, like, we're just going to put a movie on. Just don't even worry about practicing.
Best part about having a substitute come in.
Yeah, it is. You're like, yes, movie. This has got to be a movie day. It's got to be. Well, the Bucs are obviously going in the wrong direction. We can talk about a team that we kind of floated in our last podcast about somebody that we undrafted. We both undrafted, but we didn't put it on our list. But, man, they got to be playing some of the best football right now. And it's the Jaguars. DW's Jags out in Duval. Just killing it. It's easy to give them praise after they just beat the crap out of a listless Jets team. But are they really playing the best football in the NFL right now?
Them or the Texans. But, yeah, I think so. Which is crazy to think, but crazier things have happened in this league. But look, that's really what it comes down to is how you're playing at the end of the year. And right now, the Jaguars got to be full of confidence. I wouldn't want to play them in the playoffs.
Yeah, they look kind of interesting. And it's crazy. I mean, Liam Cohen's pretty much rubber stamped his way. Maybe he's fighting McVay for Coach of the Year right now. But he's got to be up there as Coach of the Year right now.
Or the Bears Johnson.
Yeah, that's true.
Chicago.
Too. Who you're sleeping on the Bears still. Shame on you.
They played the Browns. I'm going to tell you one thing right now.
Okay.
If Caleb Williams tries to throw that pass, look, that was a great touchdown. I'm going to tell you right now, in the playoffs, that's getting picked.
Yeah.
100% that's getting picked, and that's going to cost them the game. That's why I don't like him right now this year.
Okay.
Not yet, and we already said that. But yeah, that throw right there, he's going to try that in a playoff game in like the third or fourth quarter, and it's going to change the game.
All right. We'll see. We'll see if
that's at least the second time this year
Nosferat Semko
that he's tried that throw,
and he calls that,
and he's completed it twice.
Yes.
So now he's getting more confidence. No. Not in the playoffs.
Not so fast, my friend. But yeah, back to the Jags. I mean, again, Cohen's are getting all hype for Coach of the Year right now. The offense is humming, and whether that is Jacoby Myers, maybe he was the missing piece. Brian Thomas finally got involved last
Travis
week.
Etienne is running like he's freaking Barry Sanders out there.
They got the Hokey Tootin', who's a great spellback.
Yeah.
They've got a great pass-catching tight end in Brent Strange. Their defense has nonstop pass rush on that defense right there. So it's hard to, and it's maybe because, again, we look at recency and how we've always thought of the Jags being just a punching bag, but we should have taken them more seriously from the beginning.
I mean, and Trevor Lawrence had that gigantic comeback against Justin Herbert a few years ago in the playoffs. So
you're gonna cause my wife to have night terrors about that game.
I mean, the Jags didn't even look like they belong in the playoffs.
And then all of a sudden, let's just flip the switch right
Kind
here.
of what they've done this year, actually.
Pretty much made Brandon Staley lose his job. I mean, I know he clung on to it, but that game was when
it had
ownership
to.
was like, all right, what the heck? How do he let this happen?
You can't lose a game like that.
The Jags, they've got their offense humming at the right time. Their defense is playing very complimentary football, if you will. And they got a great little spunky kicker who's probably like 5'3", but somehow can kick it 70 yards.
That's going to be a weapon. Look, when the Steelers won their Super Bowl up in Detroit, they were the 6th seed, but had to win like their last 4 games. Were playing their best football of the year. When the Ravens, when that defensive back from the Broncos just couldn't jump and let that Hail Mary. When the Giants twice took down like those teams were playing their best football at that time of the year and stormed through the playoffs. Jaguars and the Texans, to me, are doing that right now.
I don't know. I'm like, you're higher on the Texans than I am. I still think that they're run by their defense, and their offense is just kind of plodding along. I know they scored 40 last week or this week against the Cardinals, but it's the Cardinals.
It's the Cardinals.
And I know that last week you could say, wow, they beat the Chiefs, but that doesn't look like anything anymore.
Another great moment for this episode.
Look anything. Beating the Chiefs looks like it's just the easiest thing in the world now.
You thought that they were going to just win out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Where did you have them going?
I had them losing to the
Where?
Bills.
Where were they going to lose?
The AFC Championship.
Oh, yeah. So just one game behind what I had them going to.
That's okay.
Okay. That's okay. All right.
Your winner's out.
Yeah, that's fine.
You were so nonchalant, not worried about them, even though I said they had to basically win out, hope every team lost.
Hey, it's
3.
optimism, man. There's no reason to sweat the small stuff, all right? Sometimes you just got to go with your gut, and sometimes your gut has IBS. You got irritable bowel syndrome, and then you got to go, poop it all out. So I just pooped it all out. It's fine. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, your line's not looking that great either.
That's fine. They're fine. What are you worried about?
Fine.
Oh, I'm sorry. Your Bucks doing fantastic right now?
Look, the Bills over the Rams after... I told you, by the way.
I don't know. The Rams look like they might just flip that script, and if they play the Bills, I got my money's on the Rams.
I'd be very happy if both of the teams I picked in the middle of the season make it to the Super Bowl.
That'd be impressive.
Which also, this is a great episode for me, so I'm just going to stretch out, strut my stuff.
I mean, it doesn't happen very often, so you got to take your laps while you can.
What happened when the Bills played the Patriots like I said was going to happen?
No, you were sweating that game. When they were down, was it 21-7 they were down?
Yeah.
Things were not looking great.
But Josh Allen.
Yeah, he's a world beater, man. He's a world beater.
I am a little worried about the Broncos.
Yeah.
They beat a good Packers team.
They did.
And the Packers came out and played really well, put up a bunch of points.
R.I.P. Packers defense.
Yeah, I know.
Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones has just got to be laughing his
he couldn't be happier.
ass off in Arlington, Texas right now.
But that sucks. You never want to see a guy go down and get hurt.
No, but I mean, that's why, and I know that we weren't doing the pod at the time, but it's like, that's why I was never high on that trade for the Packers, because they gave up so much. And it's like, when you ever give up that much for one guy, that guy has to be generational for the entirety of that contract for it to make sense or to make it an even trade on their end. And when you give up that many first round picks, that guy has to live up
to it.
He has to. There's no floor below All-Pro every year when you give up that much for a guy, and then you pay him as much as they paid him.
Well, there's nothing that says he can't come back.
No, but I mean, it's not a great start.
It's not what the Packers were hoping.
No, but let's let you drag me through the mud a little bit longer. So go ahead, get your licks in about the Chiefs. Is it over? Was this the beginning of the end, or was it just that Super Bowl hangover? Everybody says, you lose the Super Bowl the year before, you get a hangover, you never perform as well, or is this the beginning of the end for the Chiefs dynasty?
I think this iteration of the dynasty is done. I'm not saying Mahomes and the Chiefs are done, because as of right now, it's very eerily similar how Tom Brady and the Patriots and this Chiefs dynasty are. Both won 3 Super Bowls, 2 great quarterbacks, and now, Brady kind of had his early success. There was a middle period where there really wasn't, and they had to retool basically the whole team. And then he had some later success.
Well, the other thing that you're forgetting is they both, now different times in the year, because Brady had his injury way earlier. But
Against the Chiefs, actually.
Against the Chiefs and Eric Berry.
Yeah.
Cutting him at the knee. Got another Brady rule, and you guys can't tackle below the knee.
Well, that's a good rule.
Whatever.
Guys have said before they'd rather get hit in the head than in the knee.
Yeah, that's true. But he went down in the season, lost season. They brought in Matt Castle.
Made the playoffs.
Yeah, he did.
Or no, I think they missed it, but they
You're
but they were like 11-5.
10 I think they were like
10
10 10-6. And now you got Mahomes kind of almost in the same timeline, blowing his knee out much later in the year, but lost season again, not going to make the playoffs. It'd be interesting to see if it has that same kind of track where it's like he settles. But, I mean, the problem with him is that he's not going to be right by the beginning of next year.
Probably not.
They're going to, Minshew's going to start him off next year?
They're going to have to find something else.
And is he ever going to run like he used to? We talked about Mahomes being sneaky, elusive, and just like kind of maneuvering around the pocket. Is he going to have that maneuverability again?
I think so. I guess they said that he didn't really damage much else. And you can come back from those injuries. So I think he'll be fine with it. Now, the team and the time frame, I mean, next season might be lost. Kelsey, I mean, if he retires or not, I think for him with all the drops, it's just your mind and your body are on the different page, and he's trying to like secure the catch and get ready to take a hit, and his mind's moving so fast that his hands haven't gotten to the ball yet.
Seeing about his upcoming nuptials.
And I think that's part of it too.
And he's got that podcast. Tell you what, Kelsey, just retire the podcast.
You and Paul George need to just be podcasters.
Just go. No, I'm saying retire the podcast, get your whole audience to listen to us, and then you can focus 100% on football. Just retire. You don't need to do the podcast. We got the podcast stuff handled. Just relax.
I'd take all those fans.
Yeah, right?
That'd be great.
A bunch of Eagles fans? No, thank you.
That's true.
But yeah, I don't know. I actually think that I'm not as bullish, and maybe it's because I'm salty because they screwed over my Super Bowl pick. But I think that this is done. I think that the Chiefs are done. I don't know. Maybe they get lucky and they draft the right guys, but I think that there's got to be a little bit of luck that comes along their way to get back to a quote unquote dynasty or back to a perennial winner. Because, like we mentioned, it's like, before the season started, I mean, I don't know enough about the interior line, about the Chiefs. I barely know enough about my own team. But I understand they had some injuries. They had some injuries on the offensive line. But outside of that, I looked at their pieces, and you've got an aging Kelsey who's, even from a stat standpoint, he was still a top 5 tight end in the league.
He was.
He still is. Or he was this year. So it's like he wasn't the Kelsey of old. But I also think that's because Kelsey back then, he had to be that guy because they didn't have anything else around him. Once Hill left, he had to be the guy. I still think that they had the best wide receiver corps that they've ever had with the Chiefs. Still couldn't get it done. Kelsey still performing at a very high level, couldn't get it done. Mahomes, there were so many times where we would see him just escape out of the pocket and make a ridiculous throw. Now we're seeing him take sacks. He is taking so many sacks this year that he wasn't taking prior. And I don't know if that's because defensive players have gotten keen on his pump fakes or where he likes to maneuver and they've kind of figured it out, or if he's lost a step, I'm not sure. But I don't see the same elusiveness that I was seeing prior.
He's 30.
And
he is older.
And maybe he's getting slower, or maybe maybe I'm being a little bit too bullish on his wide receivers. Maybe they can't get open.
That's what I think it is. I don't think that I don't think they're really that good. They're fast, but sometimes when you're that fast, you can't really cut fast enough.
Yeah. So, I mean, and then on their defense, I know that, again, they lost McDuffie and he wasn't in, but I was high on Karlaftis. Chris Jones was playing great. He played great last week, probably his game of the year against the Texans. Still lost that game. They don't have the it factor, and they don't. And now after this season, I also don't think that they're going to strike fear in their opponent's eyes anymore.
No.
And I feel like that was their killer edge too, was just that I don't want to play the Chiefs, especially in Arrowhead. The Chargers, with their horrible offensive line, came into Arrowhead and won that game and knocked them out of the playoffs. A team that the Chiefs had always considered a little brother in that division, and they swept them. They swept them this year. And their home game was in, Brazil?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you felt like if you weren't up by 21 points in the fourth quarter against the Chiefs, you were going to lose that game. And now that is completely gone. I guess, gun to my head, I'd say the dynasty is over, because how many quarterbacks have like what Brady had, where you kind of have like 2 different seasons? But I don't know. It's on the same trajectory. And, it's going to be my next point, because not everyone, but it seemed like a lot of people were already anointing when he was about 28 years old, Patrick Mahomes being the greatest of all time?
Well, I mean, it's because of how quickly he was just getting the hardware, right? The MVPs,
but Tom Brady
the
got
rings.
that.
Oh, exactly, and that's why he was the closest to Brady that we've had, obviously, since Brady's retired. I know that's not that long ago.
No.
But still, it's like they saw a lot of the similarities where they're like, okay, well, he's got as many Super Bowls as Brady did at his age. He's got as many MVPs. He's a leader among his team. So, yeah, it's very lazy comparison.
Yeah, why couldn't we wait until he was 38?
Because people can't wait. They want a new winner. They want a new, just like they want a new Tiger. They're never going to get another Tiger. But people want a new Tiger Woods. They try to put Rory in that level. That's kind of destroyed him.
We got Scotty Scheffler now.
The most boring golfer of all time. My God.
But man, is he
robotic? Yes, he is quite
great
robotic.
To watch. Dominant.
No, he's terrible to watch. Oh my God, no emotion. Even when he got arrested, he was probably like, "Hey, how's everything going? Hey, do you need me to twist my arms further behind my back to help you out here?"
I thought it would have been more like, "I'm not supposed to be. You're not supposed to be doing this to me. Can you please stop?"
He didn't even say that. He was just kind of going along with it. He was like, "Okay, all right. Hope I'm not bothering you." While his cops on, it's like cloud nine. He's like, "Yeah, I'm arresting this famous golfer. Yeah, I'm the bee's knees." And he's just like, "Yeah, okay. I'll see you in court." But I don't know, like the GOAT conversation. Yeah, obviously now it's very easy to say, "Oh, well, it was too soon." But to your point, 30 is. We just saw Phillip Rivers at 44 throw a football.
Yeah.
So 30 is nothing. Like especially at that position, and he's still got a rifle as an arm.
He does, but it's just look. I know Tom Brady just did it. All those Super Bowls. How hard is it, though? How many other quarterbacks have won that many? 4 has been the number. It's not easy to win Super Bowls. I think people just saw that, well, if this guy just did it, then why can't somebody else do it right away? And I don't know. I blame ESPN, the magazine, for it at the start of it all.
Well, it sells papers,
issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But I'll say this, though. There is one thing that I kind of, when I was thinking about this conversation, I kind of thought of, though, because I think a lot of people wanted to put Patrick Mahomes ahead of Tom Brady, or at least some of the people that I've talked to, is because his stats, his yards and touchdowns are higher. I look at it another way, though. Tom Brady actually got better with his numbers, his yards and touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes has actually kind of gone downhill.
Yeah.
I don't know things can obviously change, but it's not like he's still on this high trajectory. And just as you mentioned, he's not throwing to guys. He's apparently got his best wide receiver core and an all-pro tight end and still not making it happen. That's kind of scary to think because, Tom Brady only added like Randy Moss and had those seasons.
I love that you said just Randy Moss. We're talking about one of the greatest wide receivers of all time. And that was actually going to be my argument.
But he didn't win with Randy Moss.
No, but he went to a completely new level with Randy Moss.
But he even was throwing a bunch of touchdowns to Edelman, Amendola, and
you have
the
Randy
other
Moss
white
in your
guy.
team. Wes Welker?
No, there was another guy. Oh, Chris Hogan.
Chris Hogan.
One route, boom, the 9.
That's all you need to do.
Somehow he'd be open for every other game.
Brady will put it in your lap. Just don't worry about it. We learned who finally made the college football playoffs. And a lot of it was what we thought. A lot of it was what we talked about it. I think I mentioned on the last podcast, it's like if BYU loses to Texas Tech, they're not in.
They got waxed twice now by that team, which honestly, I might think Texas Tech might be able to win the whole thing, but you can't show up twice and lose like that. So I think I had said that if they get blown out, they probably won't make it. But yeah, I wasn't too upset that they didn't get in.
And I think we're both relishing the fact that there should not be a college football playoffs with the University of Virginia Wahoos in it. And thankfully, Duke saved anybody from even having to have that as the discussion and said, just sit down. Stop pretending. Let's just call this what it is.
You can't lose to a 5-loss team. That just shows how bad of a team you were. JMU is probably going to get smoked. Liberty got crushed by Oregon a couple years ago. This is going to be the same thing. It's not even going to be close.
Who was the quarterback for Liberty? Do you remember?
Oh, was it Malik Willis?
Yeah, Malik Willis. Is he still in the league?
Since he was a 3rd-round pick, probably not. If he was somehow a 1st-round pick,
I remember he showed up on the Packers and he actually played fairly decent. He might still be on the Packers. Maybe. I think he might be their backup.
Oh my God, that's awful.
Jimbo, you'll be our stat boy for this one.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
We'll have a guest stat boy every week. Call him in and say, hey, is Emilio Willis still on the Packers right now, man? He'll be like, oh, yeah, he's our backup. Duh.
He's been like 4 for 6 for 25 yards.
Yeah, he won us a game.
I will say, though, we won't spend but so much time on the playoffs since they came out. But I am going to vent a little bit. Look, at the end of the day, I mean, I hate Notre Dame with a passion.
Yeah.
I couldn't have been happier that the NCAA, I mean, it was about 30 years too late, but basically double middle fingered and said, we're tired of this
Two birds.
Independent. We're tired of Touchdown Jesus, as you talked about last episode. We're tired of you having your own deal with NBC for your games. You need to join a conference. You need to join the rest of us. And we basically said, you're no longer a cut above everybody else. How do you have two teams that don't play and the one team that's in front for the last 3 weeks get jumped? That makes no sense. These rankings are absurd.
They mean nothing.
They are absurd. That's the only thing I'm mad about is Miami didn't play. And Notre Dame was ahead of them for the last 2 to 3 weeks. It's like, to me, it's like when you have, after the NFL season, in the college season, and these quarterbacks are supposed to go in for their rankings for the draft. They haven't played it down. You've scoured their tape for months. And then somehow 2 weeks before, you've got all this jumbling around with these quarterbacks. Nothing's happened. How did you come to this decision?
I think they realized the errors of their way a little too late. I'm not as bullish as you are about strength of schedule when it comes to college football because record, I think, means more to me. Obviously, quality of opponent. If you got nothing but like D2 teams on your schedule, then that's gonna kind of but for you to run the table, go 1 loss, 2 loss in any professional like college atmosphere, that's tough to do. So when you looked at the records and they were matching your records, you had to go head to head. Miami beat Notre Dame. Doesn't matter when it was because they beat them. I beat you. We have the same record, and I beat you. I am going in. So, yes, I think but this happens every year. The committee always gets one thing wrong, and for this time, it was that they should have had Miami ranked higher than Notre Dame this entire time, and then this would have been a non-issue. You would have had Notre Dame kicking and screaming 4 weeks ago instead of the week that you decided to put this out here. So that's what they got wrong. I don't think that they got wrong putting Miami in over Notre Dame. I do think that they got wrong not having Miami ahead of Notre Dame that entire time. What's Notre Dame's big special win? USC? Whoop-de-freaking-do. Like, that's your big win? That's not a big win.
You going to call Miami over Notre Dame their big win?
Yeah.
Close game. Came down to the wire. First game of the year.
Win's a win, man.
Win's a win. I can't believe they just changed like that. Every year, this committee seems to get something stupidly wrong.
I swear that they live on it. Because, again, it's cheddar. We're talking about the college football playoffs right now. So when they do something like this that causes turmoil and noise, it's fodder. It's for people to talk about. Are you saying that you have sympathy for Notre Dame for getting jumped?
For the process, absolutely. I don't understand how you can just backtrack on that when, once again, nothing happened. But I will say I loved seeing all their bitching and moaning. Cry. And look, I kind of get it for the reasons why, but just watching Notre Dame doing that because, they haven't won a national title in, 50 years, and they still think that they are God's gift to college football.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
And you needed to be taken down a peg, and you finally were, and it was great. But I will say this, maybe we can backtrack because you had a point, but if you don't accept a college bowl bid, there needs to be a penalty to that. I'm getting so tired of this. It's like either limit them the college bowls, or if you don't accept because you're just going to want to take your ball and go
leave.
home.
Yeah.
What kind of, once again, like these college coaches, and even sometimes the professional coaches, what are you teaching these kids? If you're supposed to be like these, air quotes, like mentors that we're like expecting you to be, first of all, I got all uppity with Kurt Signetti just going like ballistic on the sidelines. Like what kind of, you're allowed to do it, the coach, but the players aren't. Like, what kind of message does that send? But then to not sit there, hold your head up, you had some adversity, go play the bowl, do your best, bring your team, and go out there like men, for lack of a better term. I know you can't really say that these days, but that's really what it is. You go out there and you play for the university, and you play because that's what you basically have been paid by the school with your scholarships to do. Yeah, so go do it.
You look at the Vanderbilt head coach who came out right afterwards, and because they had a great record too. What was Vanderbilt? Do you remember?
I think they had 3 losses.
Yeah, but they won against great programs. They're in the SEC, hardest conference. When they asked him, "Are you kind of butthurt that you didn't make it?" He was like, "No." It's like, we're not victims. We lost our games. Take it on the chin. Yeah. And we're going to move forward, and we're going to win. That is the right response. Not, we should have been in, so instead of playing, we're just going to quit. We're going to quit? Get out of here, man. Are you out of your freaking mind? And the worst part is, that moment where we got to revel in Notre Dame being bounced and then crying foul lasted about a week. Because what happened is that they cried and kicked and screamed, and then the freaking CFP made a special agreement. Did you hear about this?
No.
They made a special agreement that pretty much when the field opens up, if they are sitting in the top 12 in the rankings, they are guaranteed a spot in the CFP. So you talk about them not getting special. They have a special agreement just for them that if they are ranked at the end of the year in the top 12, they are guaranteed a spot. And I hate that they are getting rewarded for bad behavior.
Yeah.
They are getting rewarded for kicking and screaming and taking their ball and going home and saying, this is an outrage. So now they get freaking special treatment. And this is why I hate Notre Dame to my core. Because they feel like they deserve special treatment. They get special treatment. Part of the reason why I was so opposed to Notre Dame was because they defiantly were like, we're not going to join a conference. And now they're getting special treatment for it. It's just disgusting. And I can't stand it.
I really hope that in these next couple of years, they kind of have similar records, but they get ranked like 13th.
Yes.
14th.
That's what that's the one thing that I can hold out hope for is that now the committee, they're like, yeah, we're going to agree with this, but under the surface, they're like, let's just never put them in the top 12. Let's put them just outside of the top 12 so that they just don't make it. And then they can just take their ball and run them. The other problem that they have doing this is that, again, not only what kind of example is it showing the players, but what example is it showing the other teams and like the value of these bowls? These bowls have lost value since the CFP already. Now, you've seen players decide that they're not going to play because they're like, I don't want to risk my draft status, which I was not a fan of, but at least I can make sense because it's their livelihood. They're looking to ensure that they're safe for their potential livelihood. But now this diminishes even those bowls' value even more. Like the whole idea with the bowl games back in the heyday before the CFP is that like we're just happy we get to play extra football.
Yes.
We're playing extra football. We get to travel to a new area. Maybe it's the Pinstripe Bowl in New York City or it's the Maui Bowl in Hawaii or wherever it is. But we get to go and get to play extra football. And this is a showcase.
Yes.
It's not a risk of me getting hurt, but it's a showcase for me for the NFL. It's an extra game for me to show at the highest level against a strong opponent what I'm capable of. And it's just completely deteriorated. And this just is almost the last nail in the coffin. It's like, do bowl games survive in the next 5 years? Or they just go away as the CFP expands? Do bowl games just disappear?
They should. If they're not making money, they will. We've talked on multiple pods now that it's, a lot of it's all about money. So, yeah, I mean, look, if you get these sponsors that are like, what's the point of me doing the Holiday Bowl if, every time we get these teams, the best players don't want to play and then nobody watches and the advertisers get mad and then they're not going to make the money that they were hoping on it. And once again, only one team can win the national championship. So only 12 teams can get in. I don't know why some of these teams thought that they legit had a shot when they've lost 3 games. But yeah, that was the thing. You have to play more football. But now all these kids, a lot of them, even that aren't even going to go pro, are like, that's a waste of my time. I'd rather go play Fortnite, I guess, than have to play a game that doesn't mean anything.
I'm going to beef up my Twitch profile.
Yeah, it's a whole microcosm of kind of what's wrong with a lot of athletics. And I do hope one day to get into just like the youth athletics and how I think that has ruined. It's really the core as to like what the basis of all this we're talking about, I think, is, because it's the mindset that these kids are given. And, you know, we'll go off on that another time.
Yeah, I mean, I could go off on a million tangents, and I think that Seabear would probably just listen nonstop of me just berating Notre Dame for all of time. But Notre Dame got their lickings. There was so much vitriol against them once they made that decision outside of the hallowed halls of Notre Dame. Mm-hmm. Public enemy number one. They have to be so thankful that a new public enemy number one cropped up out of nowhere. When this news came out and you were in Costa Rica, I was like, you son of a gun. You had to be in Costa Rica when this news broke. But I'm glad you did, because it let all of the layers of this story kind of unfold. And I think you know who I'm talking about. It's another blessed Big Ten team that we don't have a huge fan of. And I swear to God, Kurt Imre is cursing all teams that he roots for.
He is.
Notre Dame, now Michigan. Sherrone Moore, Sherrone Moore. Is it Sherrone Moore?
I don't even know.
I don't know. It doesn't
even
matter.
Care.
Man, everybody knows this story by right now, so I'll give you the highlight reel. So Sherrone Moore gets called into the principal's office, and he gets fired for having an affair with a coworker, or I guess an employer or employee of his. He goes and he stalks, or he breaks into this employer or ex-trist's house, gets arrested,
threatens to kill himself. Yes.
And I think his exact quote that she gave was like, "My blood is going to be on your hands," or something along those lines. Yeah. His poor wife. I mean, Jesus, like
3 kids.
Yeah. I mean, like, we're talking about in a single day, he got fired, he torpedoed his marriage, and he got arrested. That's the trifecta, baby.
I don't know where my mental state would be if all that happened to me in one day.
Like, in the span of, like, probably 6 hours. Maybe.
And then to kind of throw, like, a little cherry on top is you just see, like, quite a few of these, like, OnlyFans women coming out saying how he was private messaging them and everything.
I can't even take that seriously. I'm like, you're just trying. This is the top headline, and I can't even believe if it's true or not. If you're just trying to kind of ride the coattails of this story,
I gotta believe at least if there was like 5 of them, at least 3 of them are probably telling the truth.
I mean, maybe.
But yeah, no, I've never seen anything like that from one day. I mean, and all it took was his fling to basically finally admit that they had a relationship, which, by the way, I think Michigan athletics, okay, you all are so dumb. You've had so many scandals. Look, I work in retail. One of these days I'll let you know where I work. Everyone probably knows, but whatever. The second that you see somebody talking to somebody like more often than they have.
So you're saying this from retail. You've seen it and you're like, oh, something's going on.
Everyone sits there talking. So there's no way that Sherrone Moore talking to his fling, like...
Well, this was his ex-executive assistant.
Yeah, there's no way that she wasn't showing up to things. Like, it's just... How bad of a look? Like, because they all knew about it.
She was his right hand, if you know what I'm talking about.
We definitely toe the line on every... I still like your spotted dick.
I think I get what you're going here, and it is insane because once this came out, apparently it started leaking out that this was freaking common knowledge.
Yes.
Like, this was very well known that this had been going on.
But Michigan just fumbles what seems like everything in the last 5 years. I don't know. They've got like a hangover from COVID or something because...
That's a long hangover.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, they've got recruiting scandals. They've got, what's that guy? Stallions.
Yeah.
You know,
Harbaugh's guy. Yeah.
Harbaugh's guy. And now this, and it's like, all right. They even had something where the ex-OC got in trouble for like hacking and privacy issues. Like, they have just had issues out the wazoo. And to not then think that, well, you just had to wait for one of those two to say they were in a relationship to fire them. Like, what were you waiting for?
I give it 3 years until this is either a TV movie or if it gets the full Hollywood vibe, and we get a whole feature film on this whole story because it is just so incredibly ludicrous. I'm sorry, it's like I start thinking about his wife and his family and stuff like that. There's just no coming back from that. I saw like a report that said, oh, well, they were seen out together, but she was like a couple feet back from him. I was like, no, that marriage is done. I can't imagine in any, and it made me start thinking about it because this isn't the first coach that ever got caught in an extramarital whoopsie doodle. I can't understand how those wives take those guys back. It just doesn't add to comprehension. Not only were you unfaithful, but now the dirty laundry is public fodder. It's for everyone to talk about. And it's like, how can you ever have any kind of semblance of a normal life after that?
We need to look up whether like Bobby Petrino, still with his wife at the time.
I think he is.
Hugh Freeze.
I think he is.
Oh my God! Maybe the money, lifestyle.
Maybe it's a certain lifestyle or something like that.
Is that maybe just to be expected of college coaches? Is that just like part of? We're watching. What is it? My wife and I are watching Mad Men.
Yeah,
and it's just I guess
it's like the 1920s or whenever that's from.
50s, but it's like I guess it's just expected that husband has the wife and kids and then has someone on the side.
Oh, so some on the side.
Maybe college coaches, that's the expectation. So when you're with dating, about to marry that coach, you understand that
this is part of the deal. Les Miles.
Yeah. It's just all like creepy old men. Rick Pitino.
Well, and it's like, and again, Sherrone Moore, he's what? He's young. He's like 39, right? 39,
yeah.
So he's actually younger than us.
Yeah.
That makes me feel old. But so he doesn't hit that. But again, these head coaches need to go through some kind of like sexual harassment training. It's like, listen, you are in a position of power. Some of these women, not all, but some of these women are going to be fawning all over you because they're attracted to power. They're attracted to power. You need to keep it in your pants, not only for the sake, and maybe he'll be a great warning, story for other coaches where it's like he imploded his entire life.
Absolutely.
He is very likely to be a felon, out of a job, and at best have a relationship with his wife that will never be built on trust again.
No, it can't.
But there's some of the other stuff. I mean, this has got so many layers. But I read an article not too long ago that there are just so many signs that this is happening. Obviously, it's like the stories. Did you hear about the DoorDasher? Apparently, that was one of the reasons that it broke the story. So apparently, and again, this might just be made up, but I read it, so I'm gonna share it. But apparently, there was a DoorDasher that delivered a Plan B. Do you know what Plan B pill is?
Yeah.
A morning after pill to his office, and apparently didn't tip very well. So that's why the Dasher decided to release the information. It was like, hey, he had a Plan B or something like that. There's also a story about how there's a restaurant that's very famous in Michigan called the Brown Jug Restaurant.
Okay.
That has a menu with names of prominent Michigan athletic department people
so they
on
got
the
the
menu.
Schembeckler.
Yeah, they got the Schembeckler. There was a Sherrone Moore sampler. But there was, do you know the other woman's name? Do you know what her name is?
No.
It's Paige Shiver. She had a menu item on that menu, and it was called a cauliflower gluten-free pizza. And you know who got to decide who got on that menu? Sherrone Moore. Breadcrumbs everywhere. This guy was just so stupid.
Very.
And I don't know if it's just out of stupidity or just hubris, but I'm of the faith of there's never a reason to be unfaithful. Ever. But the sheer fact that he did it so sloppily is just almost even more damning.
Makes you almost think it's just expected from these coaches, I guess. Or what could it be? Why would you not quadruple pay the DoorDasher for bringing you?
Right. Let's keep this on the down low.
You only make probably $4 million at the least probably a year. You couldn't shell that out to maybe keep your story under wraps. I think this is what I have with the college coaches. It's you mentioned it with the seminar. I mean, they have it for the athletes. They have it for the kids. It's this whole do as I say, not as I do mentality. And yeah, it is embarrassing for Michigan. I know a lot of the players have said that. Ex-players have said it. I just don't understand these guys that get them. First of all, where do you have the time? I mean, aren't you supposed to be recruiting? Aren't you supposed to be like coming with game plans?
Well, and that's
you've got to meet with boosters.
That's why he's doing it with this exorcism, because she's right there along the ride the entire time. But no, I agree with you. It's like, and that's the other thing that I think about. And again, it's in a very comical fashion. But when I hear about people having affairs and then like trying to keep them on the wraps, that sounds freaking exhausting. Not only would I never do that to the woman that I love, but just having to do that and lead a double life, that sounds exhausting. How would you find the time to do something like that? And this is the other thing, and I'm probably going to get heat for this. Have you seen pictures of Sherrone Moore's wife? And
yes.
And have you seen pictures of the Paige?
I don't think I've seen Paige, because I thought his wife was Paige, and then I saw the way. So yeah, I don't think I've seen Paige.
So maybe it's just me. They kind of look like. I'll see if I can pull up a photo for you. But I was under the feeling of, and I feel like this is commonly the case, is that when you're having an affair, why is the person that you're doing it with less attractive than the person you're with? Like, and I'm not trying to throw any shade. Paige is not a bad-looking young lady.
Kind of like when Arnold Schwarzenegger
with his maid. Yeah. That's her right there. And I like, again, I understand she's young, but it's like I took one look at Moore's wife, and I was like, you have a beautiful wife. What are you doing? What are you doing? And it just seems like that all the time with these, especially these high-profile people. It's like you see the people like they're stepping off with like Tiger Woods. You see some of the
Didn't Jude Law get with
the nanny?
Yeah,
when he was with Seabear's gonna kill me. What's her name? Sienna Miller.
Okay, yeah.
Oh my God, that was embarrassing. From the movie Guru.
I'm going to leave in how long it actually took you to get there.
I got there right away. Zip, zip, zap. No, but yeah, I mean, it's like, what are you guys doing? There's so many elements of it that I'm just like, it just doesn't make sense to me. But hey, you finally, karma comes back and gets you. He'll forever be attached to that mugshot of him in that white jumpsuit.
Like Bobby Petrino with the neck brace on.
Oh my God, and the burnt and the road rash on his face. Oh, that's such a great image. It couldn't happen to a nicer guy, let me tell you.
Oh my God, the fact though that now I don't know if Sherrone will get another gig. The threatening to commit suicide.
Yeah, I think he's done.
But it is crazy that I think, isn't Petrino going to be the head coach at Arkansas or offensive coordinator?
Yeah.
Hugh Freeze, look, I'm going to tell you one thing. We're not going to get so political, but Liberty University went ahead and hired this guy that decided to, while he's on the road recruiting, to call up escort services. That's the kind of guy you want leading your football team at Liberty University. Go freaking figure.
I mean,
makes zero sense to me. That would probably be one of the last guys on the list.
We talk about this often, though, how it's like, it's just proof again that winning trumps
the Lane Kiffin talk we got into. Yeah,
it trumps everything. Bad attitude, bad personality, just unscrupulous morals. Yeah, all of those things, they pale if you can win us a couple of games.
Got Liberty into a New Year's Day bowl game.
Yeah.
Made so much money for the school, the notoriety. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, once again, kind of maybe practice what you're preaching. And yeah, that's quite the dichotomy to me.
And again, it's like, I'd like to think that the Sherrone Moore thing is going to be a warning sign of things to come for other coaches.
I don't think it's going to change anything.
We're going to see this continue to happen because, again, coaches they feed off of this power. I mean, like, even the ones that didn't get. Look at Urban Meyer. You saw the video of that girl I know, gyrating on him on that. This is when he was a head football coach for the freaking Jaguars. He's like, I need some of that local strange back at Ohio State. So I'm gonna fly back there. I'm gonna go to a local watering hole where I'm God's gift to the Buckeyes.
What a loser. These men are all just losers.
Yeah. And I mean, these poor women that like get involved with them too. It's just like, this is what you want to be known for. I know that you think that, I don't know what he's telling you or what you think's going to happen, or if you're just having fun, but have some foresight of what this is going to look like.
Yeah.
Speaking of foresight, man, there's a lot of foresight on what's to come in the new Stranger Things season. Have you Have you watched any of the new season yet?
I haven't watched a minute of that show.
You don't know about 11 and about the Demogorgons?
Aren't there something about
Vecna?
Aren't there something about like numbers? Number 7, number 11?
11. That's why I said 11. That's
Oh.
her name. Her name is 11.
Her name is 11.
Yes, her name is 11.
That's enough for me to tune out already.
You're not big on the sci-fi.
I'm really not. Yeah, you throw in... I mean, I always like when they kind of start off when it seems like it's just a normal town. But then, yeah, you start getting all...
super sci-fi,
supernatural
super fantasy,
and stuff.
Yeah, sci-fi fantasy.
It takes me out of it like really quick.
Is it because you're like, this isn't based in reality, this is imaginary? Is that what bothers you?
I think so. It's just not my cup of tea. And then when everybody... Look, you can call me a hater. Every one of our friends has said that. The memes that come my way all the time.
I say you're hating? No way. No way.
No way. But when everyone jumps on a bandwagon and goes like over the top,
that almost makes you want to jump off that bandwagon or like slash the tires of that bandwagon as quickly as possible.
If there was an inkling of thought of me getting into like that TV show, it just went away, and I will never get it.
No, I mean, like, I'm hooked. Like, Stranger Things, the first season was burned into the zeitgeist because it blended new semi-creative writing with nostalgic writing. You know, it reminded so many people of the Goonies, or the Lost Boys, or E.T. even. There were elements sprinkled in there, and it brought you back to stuff that you remembered, but had a new, fresher kind of edge to it. And there have been ups and downs. I feel like even the best of shows outside of, like, I don't know, Breaking Bad or even Better Call Saul, I love both of those.
Yeah.
There have been dips. You know, sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not. It's not all episodes. But for the most part, I feel like Stranger Things has kind of held its own. And I'm hooked. And maybe it's a combination of, you know, I've invested this much time, I got to see it to the end. And I do think that there's a little bit of that.
That's my problem with everyone that gets into these shows is they don't want to admit that maybe the show's not great and that they shouldn't watch. They're just going to let you know that they're still hardcore fans and going to see it through to the end because since you started watching it, you don't want to be seen
left out in the cold or in an abandoner of the show or something like that. For me, it's more of an investment. Like, I've invested so much freaking time in this show. I have to see how it ends, or I have to wrap this up in a nice little bow. And I've done it with shows of lesser ilk where I'm just like, oh man, I really shouldn't be watching this. This is...
You know what show comes to mind for me with that has changed how I watch shows from now on? Burn Notice.
You used to love Burn Notice. I could not go a day in college without you talking about freaking Burn Notice.
Dude, but it's like at the end of every season, there's like 8 of them.
Didn't you like Psych 2? Wasn't Psych one of yours?
Psych is a great show. Tails off towards the end. But no, Burn Notice, you think you find out who burns them. And it's, okay, 20 people didn't burn you. You just can't quite ever get there. And you're like, we need to see an ending to this.
Yeah.
And I didn't even finish it. I just was like, I'm done. I'm not sitting through another season of watching you think you're going to figure out who it was and then it not even being close to who it was.
It's like it's a lot of 1 degree burns here. I don't see any 3 degree burns here. There's no burn. It's like hot to the touch.
Yes.
That's about it. But I mean, so there is an element of that. But I do think that it's actually done pretty well. So I'm excited. I'm gonna watch it. I'm not gonna be a total dweeb. And they're like releasing the last episode as like a theatrical release in the theaters.
Of course,
because it's like 2 hours long. And you just hope that it doesn't have just the puttering out that some of these other very highly hyped up shows has, like the Game of Thrones.
Probably, I've seen maybe 2 episodes of Game of Thrones.
Okay.
One of them, Matt Coleman and Will Whitaker sitting there with me. I love Joffrey.
Oh, you so love Joffrey?
And the Red Wedding.
You're okay. All right. Well, spoiler. Let's not go into any more details. But it's been gone for like 10 years. 15 years. Yeah.
So yeah, Joffrey was just giving everyone the business. I loved it.
Joffrey's the worst, man. What the hell's wrong with you?
The looks I was getting from Will.
You're like, this guy This character.
I was like, I love this guy. He's just stirring the pot. And they're like,
well, and those are the 2 episodes that you watched. Like, I mean, like a Joffrey heavy episode, and then the Red Wedding. So you have had no build up. You're just diving right into the middle of it. Holy cow! That's of course you haven't watched Game of Thrones. You got to build it up. You got to start investing in these characters.
Yeah, I'm tired of that, investing and taking a whole season to
get
the plot development.
I'm not shocked about this because you are the king of CBS sitcoms with a laugh track on it, and it's like, hey, they don't have to, be connected. It's like one episode, and there's a clean cut ending to the episode.
Give me the NCIS, NCIS LA. NCIS New Orleans.
Oh my God, all the NCIS.
You get the character development through the episodes, but at least every episode there's something that goes on. These HBO shows that wait until the last minute of every episode to do something, and then the next episode you're just like, it really wasn't that big of a deal. But now more character development into and then wait till the final minute of that episode, and then you're like, what's going to happen in the next one because of this? And you come back and it's like, oh, nothing really. Like, it happened. We've moved on.
It's moved on.
Like, Boardwalk Empire was so annoying to watch. You just know that obviously these 2 characters, you're seeing them predominantly more than anything. So at the end, they're going to do something. And then it's like the one guy punches the other guy. And you're like, everyone's like, oh my God, he really did it. And then next episode, cop comes in and breaks it up. And then they go home. And you're like, really? That's all that happened? Get out of here.
Okay, you can't sit still.
I simplified it a little bit, but that's kind of what happened.
Yeah, there's no repercussions on their actions. It's like, oh, the next episode, everything's fine.
Like,
don't worry about it.
maybe the season finale, something happens.
No, it's building up. It's the pieces of the greater story.
It's an hour. Get it done. Come on.
All right. Well, we might have to differ on this because how dare you, sir? HBO. It's not TV. Okay, it's HBO. Oh, all right. And you're going to tell me that they swung and missed on The Sopranos, The Wire.
Wire was good.
Boardwalk Empire, I do feel like that was one of those shows where they had me in the beginning, but then I was like, I just have to watch because I've already invested like 3 seasons in this, and I didn't necessarily think it was great TV, but I was like, I'm already here. I'll just power through it.
I will say one show that, my wife got me into a little bit, and, we're going to sit there and watch the same thing. It's not the worst show in the world, but we got into the Gilded Age a little bit.
I've never even heard of that. Gilded Age? What the heck is that?
Well, it's a show about
the Gilded Age?
People in the Gilded Age.
Oh, okay.
Like the robber barons from back in the...
Okay.
Actually, today is, I would consider, a modern-day Gilded Age.
Oh,
with all the tech industry and how they just... The conglomerate of them kind of control the country, much like back then the railroads and the banks did.
Oh, my God. That's your favorite... The Gilded Age, I might have to go on... That is your favorite period of history of all time.
Around that time, yeah, like Civil War into the Gilded Age, yeah.
I mean, you look at, what was the other one? Deadwood. You love Deadwood.
I just started rewatching Deadwood.
You would.
So much action.
That's an hour show. Wasn't it an hour show?
There are some slower.
There's some episodes that didn't do anything,
and
right?
I hate those. I hate those episodes.
You just want, what's the guy with the mustache? What's his name? Come on, that's your guy.
Oh, Timothy Oliphant?
No,
Swearingen.
Swearingen.
Yeah, Ian McKellen.
Yeah.
I've actually just started watching Justified again, too.
No, it's not Ian McKellen. It's like...
It's Ian something, I think. McShane.
McShane, yeah. Ian McShane. Ian McKellen's Gandalf. You shall not pass. Come with me, little hobbit.
Have you seen Justified?
No, and of course it's got your boy Timothy Oliphant, and it's got Walter Goggins.
Yes, do love me some Walter Goggins.
Have you watched Fallout on Amazon Prime?
No.
That's got Walter Goggins.
Is it really?
It's based on the video game, which I never should have told you because now you're not going to watch it.
Done.
But it's really good. It's the first... I hate video game iterations of shows, but this one holds up. I got to say. You give it a shot. I never even played the freaking game, but it was entertaining. There you go. So you just pretend I didn't say anything. Okay. Just watch it. Fallout.
I kind of pretend that I don't hear a lot of the things that you say.
Yeah.
We'll just move on with that.
Well, somebody else that doesn't obviously listen to Reason. Did you hear about this? No? Save it for next time?
Yeah, we'll save it for next time. We're at an hour 40, my friend.
Nice. Killed it. Welcome back, Kata.
We make it... That just goes by so fast, though.
Yeah. People probably listen to us like they watch Anthony Hopkins. I watch him read the phone book.
Pay money to see it.
Amen to that.
Well, it has been. It's been a great welcoming back episode.
It has, man. Christmas show next episode.
Yes.
A lot of Yuletide.
Get ready to let people know what our favorite things about Christmas.
I'm going to roast Semko's chestnuts on an open fire, so you guys should tune in for that.
Hopefully in that episode, the owner of the belt
will be determined
a mile down the road from me.
That's right.
And will.
Yeah.
So one of us will
rap on that door, yeah.
Oh my God. The episode with the belt.
Ugh. Come on, Will Whitaker. Get it done. Don't let him coax you into that kicker-on-kicker matchup. Play the whole squad. Come on, Josh Allen got you there. He'll never do it. Because he's been goo-goo gaga about Josh Allen all year. He's starting Joshy.
Of all of our friends, Will is not one to stray away from like what's been kind of done the whole way.
The structure of it all.
Yeah, the structure. Like he is.
You could set your watch to Will Whitaker. Yeah, he likes his structure.
So that's okay. My full team will beat your full team, and your kicker might even outperform my kicker, and you probably are going to wish that you had taken me up on that.
Well, I don't know. Wait, you haven't won yet. How's Achan doing? Has he done anything? Have you looked?
No. Actually, how is that game going?
I mean, you guys are crushing right now. I think as of this recording, you guys are up 21-3, so I don't think Achan's gotten the 6 touchdowns that I need. Let me just double check here. Oh, they just scored again. It's 27.
I can say this about the Steelers real quick, and then you can have your last word. If they start playing well down the stretch, this could be the first time in probably 4 years where I think they could do some damage.
No way. This team
play well at the right time. Like I said, look, I've been low on the Patriots. Allen and the Bills. This is probably their worst team in 4 years. Maybe the Broncos. We got the Jaguars.
Come on, the Jags, yeah.
No, I know, but it seemed like the last 4 years it was like no one is going to beat the Bills or the Chiefs. There's just no way you're going to beat both of those teams or one of those teams. So there's a chance, but hey, I know the Dolphins aren't a great team, but they're still in the playoff hunt.
Not anymore.
And well, taking them out quite handedly, 28-3. That's the kind of ass kicking that makes runs in the playoffs.
Potty mouth. All right, put a quarter in the jar. My goodness. We almost made it a whole season, man. I mean, a whole episode.
I know.
But yes, Christmas episode, next one, guys. The email. I'm sure that Semko's going to remind you of it. So please give us your ideas. Obviously, we've got our own, but we want to listen to the people every now and then. It doesn't mean we're going to do it.
No.
Often we don't. I know I've got our angel investor who keeps trying to offer up ideas, and I'm sure. We'll get on that one.
Yeah, I'll think about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is nice that we're getting those kind of offers, though.
It is great, yeah.
But any last words?
No, good to be back, man. It's been far too long. That 2 hours flew by. These 2 hours flew by, and we'll do another 2 for our Christmas special.
I guess we're a 2-hour podcast. Maybe at least during the football season.
Yeah. And then we'll run out of things to talk about. We're like, we're grasping at 45 minutes here.
I have been making little list of like topics to kind of get into, like in the slow season.
Are they hot topics?
They're going to like make you think a little bit. So I'll let you know way ahead of time that you've got time.
I need to percolate with it.
Yeah,
percolate.
But yeah, because I got a feeling we'll be kind of struggling to get to that like hour 15.
No, we got it.
Well, we wouldn't.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, we made this look
who
easy.
you're talking to. Come on.
I know. You'd love to chat. I got to keep cutting you off.
Yeah. A lot of this.
You want to do about 3 more topics?
Yeah, man, let's keep going. Punch it out. Another double stuffed episode.
No, oh God, I can't handle that.
But yeah, get some rest, man. All you guys get a rest as well. Kurt Emery, if you're out there, give us a listen, man. You know, we're still thinking about you, guy.
I really am actually hoping that you're okay after the Notre Dame, Michigan stuff going on. So if anyone out there knows the whereabouts...
He's probably just been watching Scrubs reruns. Eagle!
This might be like a little bit mean, but over under 250 pounds.
Oh, that is incredibly mean. Jesus. I'll go under 250. 250 is a lot.
Last I saw Kurt, and with his MO of kind of just sitting in a computer chair watching TV.
Yeah, he does.
We're up there in age now.
He does love him some heavy cream. I know that. Putting that in all that food he was making.
Metabolism doesn't get faster as you age.
No, it does not.
I'm sorry, Kurt.
Now you have to defend your honor, Kurt. Get on this.
Yes. I will keep saying mean things to you
until word gets out. It's like, Kurt, have you heard about this podcast? These guys are talking about you every episode.
Well, that's another episode of Undrafted and Overconfident. Thanks for hanging with us, the two friends who've been arguing about sports for 20 years and still can't agree on anything. Hit that follow button, drop a rating, and email us at undraftedandoverconfident@gmail.com. And we'll see you next week. Different takes, same nonsense. Thanks, y'all.
Peace.